Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to Living Flame Sunday Gospel Reflections. We are celebrating 5th Sunday of Lent. Gospel for this Sunday is taken from John chapter 12 verses 20 to 33. This is a beautiful gospel passage that Jesus announces that he will be exalted. The hour has come that the Son of Man should be glorified. Glory means magnified, honored, exalted. Jesus must take the dark path before his return to glory in heaven, and his message is accepted worldwide. Jesus does not focus on the pain of the cross, but on the resurrection. That's why throughout the Gospels, Jesus again and again reminded that he will be resurrected, but the disciples concentrated on his passion and death. We too remember certainly Good Friday, but our focus should be on Easter Sunday. Jesus, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, says the writer of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 2. Paul, following Jesus' example, wrote, "The sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." Romans chapter 8 verse 18. Well, Jesus explains very clearly. In this connection, he says, "Unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain." Dear friends, germination is a miracle of creation that turns a dormant seed into a growing plant. Seeds, when they germinate and become a plant, they look so beautiful. But we would not imagine that particular plant or a tree, which we see normally, was in that seed. So that is what we understand by the resurrection. Our bodies are made for the resurrection. So that beauty of the resurrection is enshrined into our soul. And that is where we understand the words of Jesus. On the third day, he must rise. He will conquer death. He will conquer darkness. And he will be honored and he will be exalted. If a grain of wheat dies, it produces much grain. One thing we need to understand in this context, dear friends, in our daily lives, certain ways must die. Our selfish ways must die. Selfishness brings death. Selfishness means we concentrate on ourselves. We are buried in our own heart. But when we germinate, when we come out, when we go forth, real life of the resurrection is manifested. So when we keep things for ourselves, when we are deeply egocentric, self-centered, it does not in any way manifest that glory. To manifest that glory, we must flower, we must grow, we must go outwards. That is what Jesus did during his lifetime. He went and met all kinds of people around him. He was generous, preaching, teaching, touching them, healing them, empowering them, listening to them. That was almost his life of the resurrection that was manifested during his public life. Now we know in our lives there were so many great people like Saint Teresa of Calcutta, Saint John Paul II. During their lifetime, how much they went out manifesting the joy they had in their heart. That means trying to give their joy to others. So that is the seed of glory buried in our souls, which must flower, which must grow. And that will help us become new people. That is where Jesus says, he who loves his life will lose it, and he who hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life. That means love, which is so powerful. Love is immortal. Surrender the mortal and gain the eternal. Give up that which is dying in order to gain that which will never die. Be selfish and lose our lives. Be selfless and gain eternal life. That is the simple logic. A selfish member of the community takes to preserve himself, damages the community, and will die alone. One who contributes to the well-being of the whole community preserves the community and his own life. So that is the message. When we serve others, we know that service reaches to others. In verse 26, Jesus says, if anyone serves me, let him follow me, and where I am, there my servant will be also. That is the resurrected spirit. That is where Jesus affirms so powerfully that our earthly life must spring up to eternal life. I came to give life, life in abundance. We should not be just satisfied with the earthly life. We are made for another powerful life that will last forever. That is where Jesus affirms, now is the judgment of the world. Now the ruler of this world will be cast out. And I, if I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself. That is where Jesus affirms that the ruler of this world will be smashed to death, will be destroyed. The world is already condemned and its ruler cast out. Jesus later revealed that the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. Jesus' focus is very clear on the resurrection, and resurrection means showing that life that lasts forever. Jesus taught that selfishness destroys us. Selfish people are combative because they always want things their way, so they lose relationships. Selfish people kill their own joy by complaining. Selfish people have unrealistic expectations of themselves and others, so people don't want to be around them. Selfish people can't take criticism, but they constantly criticize others. So because of the negative atmosphere, people walk away. Selfish people make love conditional upon serving their needs and so hurt others. Selfish people lie and manipulate so they can't be trusted. Selfish people believe they deserve the largest portion and don't consider how others feel, and so drive friends and family members away. This gospel passage, dear friends, as we are preparing ourselves for the Paschal mystery, celebration of the Paschal mysteries and the resurrection of the Lord, resonate very clearly that our lives are made for another life. So if we are to be resurrected with Christ, we must die to ourselves. That is how Jesus, dying on the cross, resurrected on the third day. And as a powerful message to his disciples, he told them, go to the whole world and proclaim the good news. That is how the life is spread. That is how the life is shared. So we, being the disciples of Christ, we have a great opportunity to serve others in our community, to manifest that inner powerful life to others. It is through love, patience, the spirit of forgiveness, kindness, and goodness that we show to the world that we who are in this world are already resurrected. So, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains single. So, we do not want to be single, rather, we want to germinate, we want to sprout into eternal life. And that is where we find the real meaning relevant to our daily life, that Jesus is our life. He is the way, the truth. He is life and resurrection. God bless you.